We have made it to the All-Star break here in year number 3 of the San Francisco Giants franchise here on MLB The Show 24. Along with the All-Star break, we will go through the second half of July leading up to the trade deadline, and we've got some big games on the schedule. We're playing against the Dodgers 7 times, our big division rival who's fighting with us for first place in the NL West. We've also got Toronto and Texas. Both of those teams are no slouches, both currently slated to make the playoffs in the American League. Last episode was the MLB Draft. In case you missed it, I recommend you check out the series playlist where you can find any episode of the series that you need to catch up on. Our strategy going into the draft was focusing on guys who have a chance to contribute early on while going for upside later, and I feel like we did a good job of that. Our target going into the first round was Michigan outfielder Johnny Hackman, and he did fall to us with the 16th pick. This is somebody who might peak early in his career, but I think he absolutely could compete in spring training for a starting job next year. Our outfield is really crowded as is, but I could easily see him winning that third spot in the outfield along with Jung-Hoo Lee and Tommy Rogers. The board in the second round did not play how we hoped, and we had to take a shot on a guy we haven't scouted. 23-year-old Luis Velasquez from USC has a polished bat, he mashes lefties, and I think he has a pretty high ceiling. With our compensatory pick, we selected shortstop Francesco Gutierrez, a 22-year-old switch hitter from LSU. He's got a rocket arm, and if his bat develops, I think he could be a really good player. In the third round, we drafted Australian pitcher Chip Gilmore. I really like his ceiling. And then again, going for upside late with Quinn Monk, Omar Jimenez, and Tom Simpson. Today, we'll go through the process of signing our draft picks, and then in the next episode, I will reveal their overalls and potentials. We'll be going through the signing process a little bit later today, but first, I want to focus on the All-Star break, but we've got to get through our final game of the first half of the year first. We're looking to sweep Atlanta. We've already taken 2 against the Braves on the road. We've won 5 in a row. We've got Aaron Savale on the mound looking to make it 6. And unfortunately, we don't get the sweep. We lose 6-1. Just Savale's second loss of the year, although it really wasn't his fault. He pitched a good game, and the bullpen kind of blew it. Not that the offense really helped us. We only scored 1 run and had 5 hits. But Aaron Savale was not the reason why we lost. We're still the 2 seed, though, going into the break with us, the Cubs, and the Braves pretty much within a game of each other. The chase for the number 1 seed is going to be very competitive if we're all able to hold on to our divisions, which is going to be a lot easier said than done, especially for us. The Dodgers are 6.5 back, and we'll be seeing them 7 times here in July. The Padres are also very much in the race. We'll see them quite a few times during the end of the year, and obviously they are going to be very aggressive during the deadline as usual. As for the American League, just like last year, the AL is considerably worse than the NL. It's nowhere near as top-heavy. I would argue it's not as deep as the NL this year. We've got a gauntlet of teams chasing us at the top of the National League, and it's going to be a wild final couple of months. But first, we're going to start with the All-Star break and the Home Run Derby, which, of course, Jorge Soler won last year. Unfortunately, we will not have any representatives this year. Soler with his 21 home runs and Munetaka Murakami with 19 were the closest, but ultimately they fall short. A lot of the usual suspects here. Very star-studded group with 8 All-Star caliber guys, including the hometown hero Yordan Alvarez, who will be representing the Astros here in the All-Star break in Houston. I'm curious to see if the Astros fans are just going to boo everybody else, like how every other fan base boos the Astros at the All-Star game. Anyway, the Home Run Derby champion ends up being Aaron Judge with the New York Yankees. I'm sure the crowd loves that, as he ended up beating Mookie Betts in the final round. Yordan Alvarez made it to the second round, losing to Judge, but beating Pete Alonso in the first round is certainly an accomplishment, being that this literally is Pete Alonso's Super Bowl. That'll send us to the All-Star game now. Before we play the game, let's look at the representatives. Our Giants finished with 4 players, including 2 starting pitchers. No surprise, Aaron Savale is one of them, his second career All-Star nod. Savale leads all pitchers in WAR and has been just tremendous this year. I feel like he deserved to start in this game, but nonetheless, he makes it, and he'll be joined by first-time All-Star Kyle Harrison. Harrison has started the last few seasons pretty well, but he's really tailed off after the first couple of months of the year. This season, that has not been the case. He has been tremendous all year, absolutely deserves it. No Logan Webb, though. He still has never made an All-Star game in his career. Out of the bullpen, Camilo Doval, who has arguably been the best reliever in the National League this year, he'll make it for a third time with a 1.47 ERA. He has been tremendous, now has 3 All-Star nods added to the resume. It's no surprise that we had more pitchers than position players make it to the All-Star game, considering our pitching has obviously been the strength of this team, particularly the starting rotation. Would have been really cool to have 3 starters in, but I think Logan Webb was the first guy out in terms of voting. Our fourth and final player is Jun-Hoo Lee. This is his second All-Star nod. He made it in 2024 as a rookie. He really should have made it last year too, but got snubbed. Lee has been just tremendous this year. 5.4 WAR. I'm pretty sure that's second in all of baseball, only behind Aaron Judge. He has been unreal this season, and for the second time in his career, he not only is an All-Star, but will be starting in the game. Let's look at the American League roster now. The starting pitcher for them will be Garrett Cole. He'll be facing off against Freddie Peralta of the Brewers. Some interesting names here. Matt Manning is an all-star. Good for him. As for the position players, again, more surprises, including the 18-year-old rookie Jeremy Franco. Franco and Tommy Rogers are always going to be linked together, being that they were both generational players in the same draft class. Franco had a horrible first month to his season, but has really improved. Part of him making the All-Star game is that the White Sox have literally nobody else. But still, 18 years old, grabbing an All-Star nod. He's been tremendous. You know who also has been really good? Thairo Estrada. First-time All-Star with the Blue Jays. I think in hindsight, trading away Estrada has been a grave mistake because he's the exact type of player this team needs. He has really stepped his game up offensively, career high in home runs. He's drawing slightly more walks. He's hitting for good contact. He's hitting for good power. And obviously, he's playing good defense. Now, I can say that Jonathan India and J.P. Crawford both have been really good this year, but I still feel like in hindsight, trading Estrada was definitely a mistake given how good he has been with the Toronto Blue Jays. As for the rest of the crew, a lot of the usual suspects. Randy Arozarena makes it with the Astros. That trade in hindsight looks quite bad for the Rays. Kerry Bonds makes it in the outfield. Good for him. So let's get this show on the road. The 2026 Major League All-Star Game here in Houston. The San Francisco Giants come into the All-Star Game with the second best record in baseball, only trailing the Chicago Cubs. And we've got 4 players representing us in the game. Jun-Hoo Lee will be starting in center field. He'll be batting second, along with 3 pitchers, Aaron Savale, Camilo Doval, and making his All-Star Game debut, Kyle Harrison. There's Jun-Hoo Lee, pretty much front and center with the National League. Again, leads all NL players in WAR. They don't really have him in the MVP race because I guess his power numbers aren't exciting enough, but he leads the NL on average. He's playing great defense. I feel like he should be getting some MVP looks. So let's get this show started. Corbin Carroll strikes out, and that'll bring up Lee here in the top of the first, facing off against Garrett Cole, hitting .359 up to this point. As Jun-Hoo Lee sends a rocket into right field. An All-Star Game home run. And the National League is on the board early. It's 1-0. What a start for Jun-Hoo Lee here in the All-Star Game. After hitting 29 home runs in his first 2 seasons, Lee has already hit 15 this year. The power has taken a massive surge, and he's showing it against one of the best arms in baseball in Garrett Cole. A quick start for the NL. We're already on the board. Jun-Hoo Lee has us ahead 1-0. We'll see if Cole's able to get out of the rest of the inning. It's not going to be easy with these guys up. But if Jun-Hoo Lee can do it, we'll see if they can answer as well. Soto grounds out. Mookie Betts draws a walk. That'll bring up Austin Riley. Grounds into a fielder's choice. Into the bottom of the first, we'll see what Freddie Peralta can do, getting the start representing the Brewers. He retires the side into the second. Garrett Cole looking a lot better. He does allow a base hit here late to Will Smith, but he gets out of the inning. Now, normally in this game, the starting pitcher throws 2 innings in the All-Star game, but it's been changed, especially in real life, to where starters really only go 1 inning, and we want to get as many pitchers in the game as possible, so we're going to take Peralta out after 1. He'll be replaced by Aaron Savale. Getting a nod here in the bottom of the second inning. He'll start with Aaron Judge, grounder over to short. Mookie Betts makes the play. Throw to first is in time for out number 1. A little Aaron on Aaron crime. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., signed a big extension a couple years ago with Toronto, and he goes down on the low fastball for the second out of the inning. Now against Royce Lewis, who's been tremendous this year for Minnesota. He sends this one into left. It gets by Mookie Betts, and he is aboard for a base hit. First runner of the day for the American League. We'll see if Savale is able to get out of the inning. He'll face off against the number 7 hitter, Gunnar Henderson with the Baltimore Orioles. He's behind 1-2. That ball's in the dirt. Runner goes for second. The throw from Will Smith is a close one, but he is safe. So now there's a runner in scoring position. Quite the opportunity here for Gunnar Henderson to do some damage. He will not. Goes down on the high fastball. Scoreless inning here in the All-Star game from Aaron Savale as it remains 1-0 in favor of the NL. And that'll bring us into the third inning. Jung-Hoo Lee will get an at-bat this inning. He'll be hitting second behind Corbin Carroll, who flies out. Lee's going to face off against Corbin Burns of the rival Texas Rangers. I imagine he got some boos from the Astro crowd, so I don't think they'll be too upset to see Jung-Hoo Lee crush this ball into left center. Off the wall. Rounding second. He's looking for the triple. It's going to be close. Play at third. Not in time. If this was an actual regular season game, we would have not sent him. But since it's the All-Star game, we figured why not? And hey, it paid off. Juan Soto drives him in with a single. It's 2-0. Mookie Betts now with a hit, and then Austin Riley grounds into a double play. Into the bottom half of the inning, we'll be replacing Savale with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yes, we have to let the Dodgers guys play too. We have to be fair. He does allow 2 early base runners, though. This inning's not looking too good so far. Can he get out of it against the top of the order? J-Ram flies out. Trout flies out. The hometown kid, Yordan Alvarez, grounds into a fielder's choice, and we get out of the jam as that'll bring us into the fourth. Still 2-0. Jung-Hoo Lee has scored both runs today. Hunter Brown, another Astro into the game as Pete Alonso gets a base hit, and that'll be it. Into the bottom of the fourth now, we're going to bring in Shane Bieber, setting up Kyle Harrison to pitch the fifth. Bieber now with the Cardinals, and to think we almost signed him back in the Season 1 offseason. Imagine if we had Bieber in this rotation. That would be ridiculous as he gets out of the inning, and we move into the fifth with Bailey Ober on the mound. We're going to start to get some pinch hitters in the game. Replacing Corbin Carroll will be Ian Happ in the outfield. Jung-Hoo Lee is 2 for 2, though. We're going to have to get him at least one more at bat, given how well he's played today. He's got a homer. He's got a triple. We'll see if he can do some more damage here with 1 away and a full count. The 3-2 from Ober, and this one is up the middle. It goes for a hit. Jung-Hoo Lee is now 3 for 3. He's a double shy at the cycle. Got to imagine we're going to give him at least one more at bat for him to go for the honor. We'll see if the NL can drive him in again. Shohei Ohtani in for Soto. Showtime! 2-run blast for Ohtani. It's 4-0. Jung-Hoo Lee has now scored 3 times in this game. Francisco Lindor doubles coming in for Mookie Betts. Still only 1 out. Does the AL make a pitching change soon? Ryan McMahon of the Rockies grounds out. 2 away now. Big opportunity for Ronald Acuna replacing Tucker. He gets a base hit. Lindor holds at third. Now that'll bring up Bobby Dahlbeck with the Washington Nationals, and he grounds out. We still get 2, though, when we add to our lead. And Kyle Harrison will come into the game to pitch the bottom of the 5th. First-time All-Star will start things off with Ryan Jeffers of the Minnesota Twins. This one is blooped into left. Happ gets to it really slowly for a hit. Our defense would never let Kyle Harrison down. That's a complete lie. Yes, they would. So Jeffers is aboard, and that'll bring up Kerry Carpenter with Detroit. He's ahead 3-1, but he flies it into center. Jung-Hoo Lee is under this one, and it looks like he will make the play for the first out of the inning. Curious to see if the AL starts to make some substitutions. If not, Kyle Harrison's got his work cut out for him with some of these guys due up. That starts with Jose Ramirez. Bloops it into the infield, and Bryson Stott is under it for the second out of the inning. And so now Harrison will face off against Mike Trout, who's ahead 3-1. Trout grounds it up the middle to short. Lindor fields it cleanly. Throw to first is in time. And the National League is through 5. We lead at 4-0. Savale with a scoreless inning. Harrison with a scoreless inning. And obviously Jung-Hoo Lee has been legitimately unbelievable. That'll move us into the 6th now. We're going to continue to start to bring in some of the bench players. Henry Davis flies out. In for Stott will be Matt McClain, who, like Jung-Hoo Lee, was robbed last year. Makes it this year. He's out. Ian Happ flies out as well. Into the bottom of the 6th, now it's time to use the relievers. Ryan Helsley of the Cardinals will come in. He walks Yordan Alvarez. We'll see if the AL can do some damage here. We're going to take him out just so we can get as many pitchers in as possible. Justin Lawrence comes in, and he allows a 2-run tank to Royce Lewis, who I believe is 3 for 3 today. The AL is back in the game. It's 4-2. That brings us into the 7th. There's only 3 bench players left. None of them are outfielders. And with how well Jung-Hoo Lee has played today, I think it's fair that he plays the rest of the game. He'll face off against Johan Duran, Marlins franchise legend. Although our most notable memory of him in that series was allowing a go-ahead home run in Game 7 of the World Series to a pedophile, as Jun-Hoo Lee draws a walk on base for a 4th time today. Can't get the cycle because Johan Duran does not want to throw him strikes. Shohei Ohtani walks. That'll bring up Ha-Seong Kim, another Marlins franchise guy. He flies out. Jake Berger at third base comes in to replace McMahon, and he walks. Duran has walked, the bases loaded. That'll bring up Ronald Acuna. Fielder's choice, run does not score. Bobby Dalbec is up. Draws a walk. That brings in a run. Duran has thrown 4 walks here, and then we get a 2-run single from Henry Davis to make it 7-2. Not a good inning for Duran. He'll be yanked out of the game and is replaced by Zach Jackson, who gets out of the inning. So now the NL really has a comfortable lead. We're up by 5. It'll be Jose Alvarado on the mound here in the bottom of the 7th as the backups come into the game, including former Giant Thairo Estrada. We'll see what he can do with 2 away in his first ever All-Star at bat, and he grounds out. Into the 8th now. Jun-Hoo Lee is going to get another at bat here, probably his last one of the game. He's got a base runner with Ian Happ reaching off of another walk. Here's the 1-1 into the opposite field for a base hit. Jun-Hoo Lee has now reached safely on all 5 of his at-bats today. He's got 4 hits. I think we know who's going to win the All-Star Game MVP. He has been unreal today. Can the NL drive him in? Another walk, this time for Ohtani. Bases loaded again. Kim brings in a run off of the sac fly. Berger strikes out. Acuna with a single. Bases are loaded. Has Bobby Dalbec been infected? Yes, he has. Future San Francisco Giant legend, Bobby Dalbec, I suppose. Bottom of the 8th now. Tanner Scott is in. He'll face off against the 18-year-old rookie, Jeremy Franco. His first All-Star at bat ends in a strikeout. Vaughn Grissom also strikes out. Arozarena also strikes out. So Scott strikes out the side, and that'll bring us into the 9th. Luis Campusano, the final bench player remaining, comes into the game. Matt McLain with a double, Ian Happ with a walk, and Jun-Hoo Lee's going to get one more at bat. His final chance to go for the cycle. Facing off against Pete Fairbanks of the Rays. The 2-2, swing and a miss on the high heat. No cycle, it looks like, for Jun-Hoo Lee, unfortunately. I think it's pretty unlikely he gets another at bat, but hey, you never know. Shohei Ohtani now is up. He draws a... How many walks are these guys going to throw? Ha-Seong Kim flies out in typical Giants fashion, as that'll bring us into the bottom of the 9th. And Camilo Doval looks to shut the door. It's not a save opportunity given that the National League is up by 6, but given that he has been the best reliever in the NL this year, I figured he deserves to be the guy to finish out the game. He'll start with Logan O'Hoppe of the Angels, grounds it to first. Dalbec misplays it. He's got to pick it up. Quick throw to first is in time. Good job by Bobby Dalbec to recover in what otherwise would have been an error. That'll bring up the former Giant, J.D. Davis. Bloops it into the outfield, and Matt McLain will come down with it for the second out of the inning. And the game comes down to Gunnar Henderson. They're not going to bring in a pinch hitter for him. He'll stay in the game as he flies it into right field. Ronald Acuna Jr. is under it, and he will make the play. The National League wins the Midsummer Classic by the final score of 8-2. Our San Francisco Giants put on a show today. Scoreless innings from Savale, Harrison, and Duvall. But obviously the big story, Jun-Hoo Lee, who goes 4 for 5 with a homer, a triple, 2 singles, and a walk, scoring 3 times and driving in 1. Obviously, he wins the All-Star Game MVP. Not a doubt in anyone's mind. It's unfortunate he couldn't get the cycle. He had 3 chances to do it, but ultimately falls short in what otherwise was a tremendous performance. I think the biggest thing other than Jun-Hoo Lee was all the walks. 14 hits, 9 walks. The AL bullpen did not throw strikes. Got to get the pitchers credit. Everybody did their thing for the most part. As for the American League, Royce Lewis had 3 hits. Ryan Jeffers had 2. Everybody not on the Minnesota Twins had 0. That's something. Their bullpen could not throw strikes. 4 walks from Duran, 2 from Jackson, 2 from Fairbanks, all in the last 3 innings of the game. And that's ultimately what kind of broke the straw off the camel's back, giving us runs late. So now that we're in the second half of the year, we're going to start with a quick roster move. Luis Toribio has been up for the last couple of weeks, and he's been better than he was, but he's still been pretty mediocre. 231 average, not really hitting for much power, no home runs, he hasn't driven in any, he's only walked once, and his WAR is in the negatives. We're going to send him back down. Hopefully he can continue to play well in AAA, but he has really struggled at the big league level so far. We'll be replacing him with Kyler Rodriguez, who started the year in the minors, came up in early June, and he was pretty abysmal. He's come back to AAA. He's played, honestly, even better. And again, this is a guy who played the last month of the year in the big leagues, and he played really well. So he's going to get another opportunity here with the big league team. Hopefully his second stint up this year will go a lot better than his first. And now our lineup is set for the second half of the year. We've got 13 games we're going to go over today, and all 13 are against playoff teams. The Blue Jays are winning their division currently, as are the Rangers. But the Dodgers, we know that's the most important set. 3 at home against LA, 4 on the road. By the way, Tommy Rogers has officially grown the beard. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. I would like to say he now has aura. He doesn't look like a normal 18-year-old, but nothing about him screams normal 18-year-old, does it? As for the pitching, hopefully these guys can continue to be tremendous. 2 All-Stars in the rotation. Could have been 3. Again, Logan Webb just missed out. I need to see more consistency from the bullpen. Other than Duvall, really nobody here has been consistent at all. I think we're definitely going to look to add some bullpen help during the trade deadline. But for now, until then, we need everybody else to produce. So I think I want to play one of the games at home against the Dodgers, specifically this second game. Get another opportunity to pitch with the All-Star Kyle Harrison. So we'll simulate through the first one. Mason Miller versus Bobby Miller, 2 of the hardest throwing guys in the league, and we win 6-2. Good start to the second half of the year. Mason Miller was tremendous. He went 8 scoreless, one of, if not his best start as a San Francisco Giant, getting the win. He's only 5-6, oddly enough, even though he's been pretty good this year. We hit the ball pretty well, 6 runs, 10 hits. We got our runs in bunches, but overall, the offense was pretty good in this one. It was Elliot Ramos who stole the show. He went 3 for 4 with a homer, driving in 3. Ramos has been cold over the last month or so it's really good to see him playing well. And then again, Mason Miller was tremendous. He only struck out 3. He did not need the swing and miss stuff to be ultra effective, though. That'll bring us into the second game now. Kyle Harrison on the bump, his first start since the All-Star break. Hopefully the second half of the year for him will go as well as the first half did. If we win this game, we'll win the first of the 2 series against the Dodgers, and we'll continue to build our lead in the division. So hopefully we can get the job done with one of our best pitchers, and one of the best pitchers in the National League on the mound. As we take a look at both lineups in this one, 1-9. The Giants will be mixing it up a little bit with Jorge Soler and Liover Peguero getting the day off. As we take a look at Kyle Harrison, the southpaw making his 20th start of the year, 9-5, 2.66 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, and 107 strikeouts for the first-time All-Star, who's got a big challenge ahead of him, facing off against multiple All-Stars in this Dodgers lineup. That starts with Kyle Tucker, who was hurt the first time we played these guys this year, as Tucker sends this ball a long way into center field. Rogers can only watch it fly. That one's gone. Leadoff home run for Kyle Tucker, his 23rd of the year, 472 feet. My Lord, that ball went far. Ball go boom. But they're not done. It's showtime. Major League Baseball's home run leader, Shohei Ohtani, goes deep for a 35th time this year. That one goes 441 feet. The Dodgers mashing the baseball here in the first inning with 2 absolute nukes to start this game. We'll see if Harrison can get back as he gets Mookie Betts to chase the inside slider for the second out of the inning. That pitch looked a lot better than the last 2. Now against Max Muncy, lefty on lefty crime. And Muncy goes down on the fastball. Not a great start, though, for Harrison. He lets up 2 as we go to the bottom of the first. It's Oppenheimer. Tyler Glasnow on the mound, looking to lay the bomb on this Giants lineup. He's pitched in 66 innings this year, battling injury, as has been the case with him throughout his career, and he's been really inconsistent this season as he strikes out Jun-Hoo Lee, who goes down looking. That'll bring up Jonathan India, hitting above 300, quietly having another great season as he draws a walk, and he is aboard with 1 away. That'll bring up J.P. Crawford, who started the year off slow, but over the last month or so, he has been tremendous. He also draws a walk, and the Giants get some free base runners here in the first inning as they look to get back into this game. 2 on, 2 away. Huge at bat for Elliot Ramos, who led the way in game 1 of this series, but he chases the inside fastball for strike 3 as Killian Murphy gets out of the first, and that'll bring us into the second. Harold Ramirez, the lefty masher, goes down on the circle change. Another punch out for Harrison, his third. Miguel Vargas down the line. Kyler Rodriguez makes a nice scoop at first. And that inning went a lot better than the last one as Harrison retires the side, looking a lot more like himself. Bottom 2, Blake Sabol leads things off, and he sends this one into left field, looking for extra bases. Unlike Jonathan India and J.P. Crawford, Sabol started the year hot, but has cooled off ever since. Still having a good season, but definitely not the guy he was in April and early May. But he is aboard with a double. That'll bring up Cedric Mullins here. Runner in scoring position, 1 away. He goes down on the inside fastball. Another punch out for Glasnow. That brings up Tommy Rogers, who I think has done really well with runners on base so far. He's driven in a ton of runs this year as he goes down on the fastball. Tommy Rogers' RBI total is pretty close to the guys who have played the entire year here, and Rogers has only been in the big leagues for half of the season as we move into the third. Mauricio Dubon sends it into center. Rogers cannot make the play. Dubon, the former Giant, heads to second, and he is safe. That was a close one. Good throw by Rogers, but Dubon starts the inning in scoring position. That brings up Kyle Tucker, who had the 470-foot homer his last at-bat. This time he singles into right. Dubon looks to score. The throw from Lee is not in time, and the Los Angeles Dodgers add to their lead as it is now 3-0 with the RBI single from Tucker. That brings up Gavin Lux, grounds it to third. The Giants look to turn 2, and they do! 5-4-3 double play. Good work from the infield. Shohei Ohtani also homered in his last at-bat, but he's behind 1-2. Hits it up the middle. Crawford makes the play. Throw to first is in time. Ohtani reached base successfully in all 3 of his plate appearances in the All-Star game, including the home run that drove in himself and Jun-Hoo Lee. Bottom 3. Dodgers ahead by 3 as Jonathan India draws another walk, his second of the game. And San Francisco gets an early base runner for J.P. Crawford. Puts it right on the ground. Glasnow with the scoop. And it's going to be a double play to wrap up the inning. Nice play there on the mound by Tyler Glasnow, who, again, has been inconsistent this year, but he's through 3 scoreless. And that brings us into the fourth. Mookie Betts goes down looking on the circle change. We're seeing a lot of strikeouts from Harrison. That's definitely been a positive today. Now with Muncy, chases the slider. Ever since the disastrous first inning, Kyle Harrison has pitched pretty well. Now against Harold Ramirez. He gets a piece of this one into left center field, and that one's going to roll to the wall. Rogers gets to it as quickly as he can, but Ramirez is aboard at second with a 2-out double, and the Dodgers now have a runner in scoring position looking to do some more damage. Big opportunity for the catcher, JT Realmuto, and he gets that one past the diving glove of Murakami into left. Runner looks to score. The throw from Mullins is a good one, but just not in time. RBI single for JT Realmuto, and the Dodgers now lead 4-0. That'll bring up Miguel Vargas. He sends this one into center. It's a liner, and Rogers will make the play, but not before the Dodgers score another run, adding to their lead as we go bottom 4. Blake Sabol hits this one well into center, chasing after it near the wall, and it is caught for the final out of the inning by Mauricio Dubon. That'll bring us into the 5th. Still 4-0. Only 1 hit so far for San Francisco. The offense has been really not good so far. As Mauricio Dubon bloops this one into center, Rogers will not make the play once again. This time Dubon will hold it first, but the leadoff single here for the Giants. Got to assume the bullpen is active right now for San Francisco, given that Kyle Harrison has not looked like himself. Kyle Tucker gets a piece of this one into right. At the track, at the wall, it goes off the top of the wall. Dubon will score with no problem. It's an RBI double for Kyle Tucker, his 3rd hit of the game, his 3rd RBI of the game. It's 5-0. And with that, Kyle Harrison will be taken out of the game. He just really didn't have his best stuff today. 4 innings, 5 earned runs so far. Hopefully that number does not go up even more. and he'll be replaced by the long reliever Keaton Winn, who's pitched in 3 separate outings this year, and he's been pretty solid, allowing 3 runs in 8 1/3 innings. We'll see if he can look to keep the lead at bay. It's already 5-0. The Dodgers are looking to continue to bang through the door, and this certainly won't hurt. Gavin Lux down the line. He's looking for extras into second with a double. Tucker scores with ease, and the Dodgers add to their lead as it is now 6-0. Lux now at third, 1 away. Mookie Betts swings way too early on the fastball. Mookie Betts 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts today. That'll bring up Muncy with a grounder to second. India dives on it. Can he get the throw to first? No throw. Muncy is safe, and it is now 7-0 Dodgers. It really just has not been our day today, has it? Harold Ramirez, sharp grounder to third. Murakami bobbles. Throw to first, though, is in time. That'll wrap up the inning. Dodgers score 3. They have a commanding 7-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. A walk here for Rodriguez. Just got to stack some base runners here if you want to put yourselves back into the game. That'll bring up Tommy Rogers with 1 away and the runner on first as Rogers strikes out for a second time today. Back to the top of the order. Jung-Hoo Lee, 0 for 2. Pops this one up into the shallow infield, and it looks like this one will be caught. 5 innings of 1-run ball for Tyler Glasnow. He has been phenomenal. It's still 7-0. That brings us into the 6th. JT Realmuto leads off the inning, and he will start with an early walk. Another early base runner here for the Dodgers. Realmuto looks to go for second. He is quick for a catcher. Throw to second, not in time. It was a good one from Sable, but the runner is safe. So now there's a man in scoring position here for Dubon, who chases the outside slider. Great pitch by Keaton Winn. 2 away for Kyle Tucker, who's been tremendous in this game, looking for hit number 4, and he gets it. Single into center. Run will score. It's 8-0. Tucker has driven in a run in all 4 of his at-bats today. He's got a homer, a double, and 2 singles. He has been a man on a mission. Lux goes down looking. That wraps up the 6th. Another inning where the Dodgers score. They've gotten at least 1 run in 5 out of 6 innings today. Jonathan India gets a hold of this one to start the bottom of the 6th. It's got some carry. It goes off the wall in center. India's in for a double. Nobody has shown up offensively today with the exception of Jonathan India. He's walked twice, now gets a double. At least he's shown up. So now there's a runner in scoring position. We'll see if Murakami can drive him in. He does not, but he draws a walk. Good at bat. 2 runners on base. That'll bring up Heliot Ramos. Sends this one high into left. That one should be caught, and it will at the wall. India looks to tag up to third, and he is out of there. Really not a smart decision to tag up for third with 2 outs. India and the Giants clearly thought that there was no chance they would make the throw. Problem is they made the throw. Into the 7th, Tristan Beck comes out of the bullpen. I think the hope for the Giants is that Beck is going to throw these 3 innings, given that this game is probably a lost cause, and to save the other arms of the more important relievers. He does allow an early hit here for Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers already up big. They might not be satisfied. They are looking to destroy their arch nemesis, but they won't land anything here in the 7th as Harold Ramirez strikes out on the changeup. That'll bring us into the bottom of the 7th as the Kayakers in the Cove continue to be quite sad that their team has 2 hits today. Trevor Larnach comes in off the bench hitting .625. Sends it into the gap. Just the 3rd hit of the game for San Francisco. It'll roll to the wall for a double. Trevor Larnach certainly will be playing more. It's a very small sample size, but he's obviously been really good. So with that, Oppenheimer will be taken out of the game, and he'll be replaced by Tony Gonsolin. 4.34 ERA on the year for him. They're hoping, I would assume, that he's going to pitch the rest of the game as Tommy Rogers strikes out 0 for 3, 3 Ks. Tommy Rogers is looking like a normal 18-year-old today. We'll move a little bit faster given that, again, this is a complete blowout. Bottom 8, J.P. Crawford sends this one into right field, places the bat down, and that one is long gone. The Giants finally on the board as it is 8-1. Solo shot for J.P. Crawford, his 15th of the year. Chris Paul hits a huge 3 to cut the lead to 43. Put your rally caps on, kids. We might be back. Never mind, I take it back. As Shohei Ohtani launches this one into straightaway center. That one is gone. His 36th home run of the year. His 2nd of the game. and it is now 10-1 as that one goes 468 feet. My Lord, these guys are mashing the baseball. Bottom 9. Dodgers lead 10-1. Blake Sabol singles into center. Could this be the start of the rally? We did score 9 runs in an inning last year against San Diego, so you never know. We've done it before. Kyler Rodriguez is up now, behind 1-2, and Rodriguez crushes this ball into right. That one is gone, and the Giants make it 10-3. The lead is back within 7. Rodriguez with his first home run of the year, 4th of his career as it goes 419 feet. At least the Giants aren't, entirely quitting, I guess. Still, obviously, a steep hole to climb as the Dodgers will go to the bullpen. The lefty Alex Vesia comes into the game. We'll see if he can finish it off here with the Dodgers up by 7. One away here for Tommy Rogers. This ball is high and deep into right center. Tucker chasing after it at the track, at the wall. It goes off the wall. Rogers going as fast as he can. Will he around third? No, he stays. Thought about the inside the Parker, but he'll settle with a triple. His 3rd of the year. I'm surprised he doesn't have more, given this ballpark and given how fast he is. Jung-Hoo Lee up the middle, base hit. That'll score Rogers, and it's 10-4. So the Giants are continuing to cut into this lead. Will it be enough, though? 2 away for Crawford. Homer in his last at bat, looking to do it again. This one's high and deep and a right, and it is caught. The Dodgers win in dominant fashion, 10-4. Our offense made some noise late, but it was really in garbage time. 4 runs, 8 hits doesn't look that bad until you realize that we couldn't do anything for the first 7 innings of the game. And by the time the offense got going, the game was already over. 10 runs, 15 hits today for the Dodgers. They mashed the ball. Their home runs were very long. Tucker had one go 470. Ohtani's went 468 and 444. Ohtani had 3 hits. He drove in 3. Tucker had 4 hits. He drove in 4. The one thing we can say, though, is we got Mookie Betts to go 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Oppenheimer threw nearly 7 scoreless, while the bullpen didn't do so well. Tyler Glasnow was phenomenal. 3 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts. Our offense just really was not very good. Only 1 player with multiple hits. We had a couple big plays down the stretch with the homers by Crawford and K-Rod, but we still got manhandled. Bad start from Kyle Harrison. Bad performance from the bullpen. The pitching was not very good in this game. The hitting was not very good in this game. So hopefully we can win that last game against the Dodgers, win this series, and we'll see if we're able to perform. We split the first 2 games. The division lead does not change. It's still at 6. So now we're going to simulate up to the trade deadline. We're going to go a little bit slower, though, given how important these games are. So we're going to start with the last game against the Dodgers and then the 3 at home against the Toronto Blue Jays. And we ended up going 2-2. We lose the last game against the Dodgers, which is not ideal. We do take 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays, though. The one loss, though, we got shut out. And guess who got the start? Jordan Hicks. Yeah. So the Dodgers and the Padres have made up a little bit of ground on us, but we're still ahead by 5 games, bringing us into this big series against the Dodgers. 4 on the road, and that starts here with Game 1. We're up by 2 in the bottom of the 8th, but the bases are loaded, and it's Kyle Tucker up at the plate. Tucker on the first pitch, pops it up into foul territory. Huge out for the Giants as Murakami will make the play. Can Genesis Cabrera get out of the inning successfully as he faces off against JT Realmuto? He launches this one into left center. This ball is gone. And the Dodgers take the lead with a grand slam by Realmuto, and it's 6-4. Cabrera is taken out of the game. He'll be replaced by Yariel Rodriguez, who looks to get out of the inning with the lead still at 2. Against Mauricio Dubon, the 1-0. This one is going to go past Murakami. It's fair. Down the line. Dubon looking for second. He is in with a double. And the base runners are going to keep on coming, throwing away a phenomenal start from Kyle Harrison. Miguel Vargas launches it into center. This one is gone, and the Dodgers make it 8-4. 2-run blast for Miguel Vargas That brings up Harold Ramirez now. Grounds it to short. Leover Peguero will make the play. Throw to first is in time. The Dodgers score 6, though, with a grand slam by Real Muto and a 2-run shot by Vargas, both of which came with 2 outs. And ultimately, that would be the difference. The Dodgers win this game 8-4. They take the first of 4. This was a game we should have won, but to choke this game and have the bullpen blow another one, I'm really hoping that this doesn't lead to a big momentum push for the Dodgers. If they were to theoretically sweep us in this series, the division lead would go all the way down to 1. Jun-Hoo Lee produced. He went 3 for 4. Tommy Rogers had a good game. He went 2 for 4 and scored twice. Murakami homered, and everybody else stunk. Kyle Harrison was phenomenal. 7 innings of 2-run ball, and the bullpen again came in and threw it apart. The Dodgers offense was not good until the 8th, but that's all they needed to get the job done. We're going to get a trade offer here from the Reds, and it's a really interesting one. Robbie Ray for Will Benson. Benson's been banged up for most of the year with an ankle injury, but he's been really good. Last year, he was tremendous. OPS above 1,000, made the All-Star team, but he doesn't fit what we need at all. Can't really hit lefties, inconsistent defensively, and I don't want to trade Robbie Ray because, again, we don't have the contingency plan for a new 5th starter. The Rockies offer us a deal now. Heliot Ramos for Dominic Canzone. This deal is a lot less appealing than the last one. I think we're going to move on. Into Game 2, we have the lead, 2-0. Logan Webb is looking for the shutout, but he has to face off against Kyle Tucker. Rips it into the gap. 1 run scores. Can the Dodgers tie it? Real Muto rounds third, heads home, play at the plate. Not in time. 2-run double for Kyle Tucker, and this game is tied up. So the Dodgers are able to knot this one up, killing the shutout from Logan Webb. He'll be taken out of the game here in the bottom of the 8th after a tremendous performance, but it's not going to matter. Max Muncy with a single, and that's the difference. The Dodgers win once again, 3-2, with a good start from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Another not-so-good performance from the offense, and another game where the pitcher performed really well, and it didn't matter. Kyle Tucker with the big run. The Dodgers didn't even hit the ball that well. 3 runs, 7 hits, but Yamamoto was great, struck out 10. So unfortunately, Hayden Birdsong, one of our better pitching prospects, broke his hand. He'll go on the 10-day IL. And then the Padres offer as a trade Tyler O'Neill for Robbie Ray. I'm not sure why so many teams are interested in Robbie Ray. Again, it's a tempting idea. In terms of value, we would be winning the trade, but Robbie Ray's not a guy we can give up. That brings us into the last game here against the Dodgers. We won the other game that we didn't go over, so we trail in the series 2-1, looking to split it. Runner aboard, tying run is up. Mookie Betts is first, and he strikes out on the cutter. Gavin Lux now, the 0-2. Grounds this one over to first. Murakami tags the bag. Runner makes it to third. Can Duvall shut the door once and for all, capping off what has been a tremendous start from Aaron Savale. It's JT Realmuto, the 0-2. Swing and a miss on the cutter. And so the Giants end up splitting the road series against the Dodgers. Overall, in the 7 games that we played against them, we go 3-4. Not great. Could have been a lot worse. And we still hold a somewhat sizable lead in the division. 2 runs, 6 hits. We did not hit the ball well, but it did not matter. Aaron Savale was incredible, and then the bullpen was phenomenal as well. They actually held on to a lead this time. Bobby Miller gets the loss. He was brilliant, certainly not at fault for this one. So we end up going 3-4, as I said, against the Dodgers. And going into the Rangers series, the lead in the division has decreased a little bit, but not too much. As I simulate the Texas series, we get offered a trade from, ironically, the Dodgers. Luis Matos for Noah Miller. Honestly, not a bad idea. I think I'm going to say no, though. I still believe in the upside that Matos has. So that brings us here into this game against the Rangers. We're down 4-0. We're getting smacked. Jun-Hoo Lee is a 10-game hitting streak on the line. And he'll face off against Shelby Miller as Lee launches this one into right. It's a pimp job for Jun-Hoo Lee. And that one is gone. 2-run blast, his 17th home run of the year. That ties a career high for Jun-Hoo Lee. And the Giants might be in the game. It's now 4-2. We'll see if possibly they can maybe, spark a comeback. And it is not going to happen. Marcus Semien homers for the Rangers. They end up getting the win in this one, 5-2. Another not-so-good game from the offense. I feel like we really have not hit the ball that well since the All-Star break. Jun-Hoo Lee with the homer. J.P. Crawford had 3 hits. Everybody else was pretty much asleep for the most part. Mason Miller had a decent start. Not his best outing, but certainly not his worst. He gets the loss. The Rangers with 14 hits in this one. Really hit the ball well. Only scored 5 runs, but no shortage of base runners and a tremendous start from Chris Paddock. 7 1/3, only letting up 1. The trades are going to keep on coming. We get an offer from Minnesota. Robert Malone, a high upside first baseman for Brian Baker. I don't think this is bad value, but Malone has a very long ways to go, and I still believe in Brian Baker. He hasn't pitched very well this year in the major league level, but I still like him. And then this trade from the Reds is a really tempting one. Sammy Stafura, a 21-year-old shortstop for Luis Matos. I think in terms of value, this is a really good deal for us. I'm not going to take it. I want to see if maybe we can possibly get a better offer. But I'm definitely going to come back to this in the next episode because I think it'd be a really good deal for us. We end up only taking 1 against the Rangers. We lost this one 8-5. Kyle Harrison got yanked early. He suffered a shoulder injury. And then we won this last game 6-4. Robbie Ray also got yanked early with an injury. Both Harrison and Ray should be fine, but it's not ideal that our pitchers are, starting to get hurt. So here after the All-Star break, we go 6-7. Not great, but we did face off against a really tough schedule. It's not the Dodgers who are really climbing in the division, though it's San Diego. They're only 3.5 back. Before we wrap up the episode, I do want to go over the signing process for all of our draft picks. Pretty much everybody is super interested except for Johnny Hackman. It's going to be a little bit harder to sign him. Omar Jimenez takes his first offer. Francesco Gutierrez takes his first, as does Tom Simpson. It was definitely an advantage for us to mostly draft under slot value, especially considering we had the extra compensatory pick. On to stage 2. Luis Velasquez, our second rounder, accepts. Now we've got 3 guys to go. We'll start with Chip Gilmore. He says yes. Everybody's being so cooperative accepting their first offer. Quinn Monk says yes, and now the last guy we have is Johnny Hackman. We're going to wait a couple of days until he's finally willing to negotiate with us. And with him, again, being under slot value, we're going to look to lowball him a little bit. His first offer for 3.8, he says no. Following day, he's now 58% interested. We're going to up the deal to around $4 million. He says no. We only have a few more chances left, so we're now going to have to overpay a little bit. We're going to equal slot value, 4.33. He says yes. So Johnny Hackman is signed, and with around $500,000 left over of bonus money, all of our draft picks have been signed, and we'll take a look at how good these guys are in the next episode. So that's going to wrap this one up. Next time, along with going over our draft picks, we've got the trade deadline. And for a possibly contending team like us, this is a big opportunity to add some pieces. This team is really good, but they have some obvious flaws that we can hopefully get patched up during the deadline. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.